Alright guys, what's going on? This is BJJ Study Hall with another video, and I watched this entire match in 0.75 speed so you don't have to. So let's go over what I learned and what you guys can take away from it. Alright, so the beginning of this match, a lot of stuff goes on, so I'm going to be pausing and rewinding so you guys can see exactly what's going on. But we're going to start off, slap bump. Gordon Ryan's going to go from a collar tie to an overhook into an ashy slide. So let's take a look at that again. So, common response here from the collar tie. We get a collar tie, our opponent starts to play with our arm here, so we can go overhook. Once he gets the overhook, I've noticed Gordon Ryan likes to leg lock guys who are a little bit bigger and stronger than him, so he goes immediately to slide through for this ashy slide. So when he slides in, he goes and puts his foot into the butt of his opponent and puts his other foot on the mat so he can try to put Josh on his hands. Josh does a good job responding by turning towards Gordon, trying to get his foot out, and Gordon comes up for a single leg and turns it into a shin to shin. So like I said, a lot of stuff going on here. So one more time, ashy slide, fails. He comes up for like a single leg. Again, he doesn't want to wrestle the bigger, stronger guy, so he goes instantly to the shin to shin entry. And again, Josh responds very well by getting Gordon flat on his back, flat on his hips here. Okay, Gordon responds by keeping this grip in the back of the knee and straightening this leg out and pulling him into this position. Okay, in order to get this leg back into an attacking position, into single leg X like Gordon's doing right here, he uses this neck frame and goes to elevate Josh to get his weight on his hands instead of his legs so he can get back to a single leg X. Okay, one more time on that. He's using this frame in the neck, elevating, getting him to the single leg X. So as Josh goes to play and peel that foot off, Gordon goes straight to his reverse X here and tries to test his base to see if he can get him to that cross ashy with that like basic cross ashy entry. We see Josh is so tall, Gordon is not going to have enough space to get into there. So Gordon takes a grip on the back of the knee here so he can start exposing the heel and going for a reap. He's going to go for inside ashy here. Goes to reap and expose the heel. You see he's already got the heel hook grip. Okay, but Josh is going to do a good job responding by turning away and starting to clear the knee line here. So Gordon responds by going back to a regular cross ashy type grip, almost in like this pseudo Achilles grip, and starts reaching for the secondary leg of Josh to see if he can enter into that leg. Josh is doing a good job keeping his knee tucked. So once Gordon realizes that Josh is about to get up and he's losing the leg just popped out of that cross ashy, Gordon goes back to this ankle grip. He's going to come in with this cross frame and start going belly down, using his shin as a frame in Josh's hip to keep him down. See? So he's using a knee grip and an ankle grip and a frame across the hip with his shin to keep him down. It almost works into tying both of his legs up here. Throwing his leg over for a cross ashy and going back to inside ashy. So we see that seems to be his game plan for this match, is going to this inside ashy and trying to finish from there. Again, Josh does a good job turning away, freeing that knee. And Gordon just keeps the toes here so he can't turn away. Keeps the foot off the floor and comes up. Now we're going to get to see some camping. Okay, with this camping position here, Gordon likes to make sure this bottom knee doesn't come out. He's either going to be grabbing their knee or grabbing their ankle. In this case, Josh does a good job keeping a hold of his arm, of Gordon's arm. So Gordon just focuses on keeping his head over Josh's head and keeping his hand behind his back, in between Josh's shoulder blades to keep his body kind of curled up. Josh is trying to free that leg and Gordon's going back to the leg. See, as Josh goes to free the leg, Gordon grabs the ankle and puts it back in between his legs. He's going to keep leaning head over head. So now, as Josh starts coming in, we'll see this a couple times in the match. As Josh goes to bring his head in, almost like he's going underneath the legs, Gordon will switch from this arm kind of in front of his body to like almost an overback grip. and we'll see an overback later on. But he gets here, and as soon as Josh goes to use his underhook and clear his own knee, Gordon's just going to take his crossface and flatten him out. Josh responds by almost doing like a kipping style escape, getting his knee back in front. Gordon goes right back to his camp. Again, you can see here Gordon really putting his hand right in between the shoulder blades, trying to keep Josh balled up here. Okay. Once Josh goes from like this almost facing up position to more on his side, Gordon switches to the overback so he can again keep Josh's head in towards his knees. Right now, it looks like he's fighting that bottom foot from coming out. Josh is keeping that arm so he can't camp as effectively. Again, Gordon just maintaining that grip on his shoulder blade in between the shoulders. Josh getting more on his side, so we might see Gordon switch to that overback. Maintaining that head over head posture, waiting for that leg to come out. So this time, as soon as Josh goes to take that leg out, Gordon's going to step right over into 3/4 mount. Okay, we can see that one more time. So as soon as Josh starts losing this grip and going more on his side, I think Gordon can feel him. Okay, so he gets the underhook here. I'm sorry, he gets the underhook. And once he gets an underhook, Gordon wants to go elbow more towards his opponent's hips. He wants to cover Josh's forearm with his arm, and he wants to get a crossface. So his arm that was behind the shoulders is now down by the hips over Josh's forearm, and he's got a crossface to try to flatten him out. Now from here, Josh is going to make a mistake by clearing that knee shield, and as soon as he does, Gordon steps his leg up, flattens him out in 3/4 mount. He's expecting him to go ahead and elevate him again. He's just ready for it. Goes right back, gets his underhook now, and that's how he finishes that pass there. So as soon as he gets to this underhook here, he's just going to pummel that foot out. One more time. Josh goes to push the knee from 3/4 mount, and that gives Gordon the space to get this underhook here. And as soon as Gordon gets the underhook, he almost two-hands it, almost like he's going for an Udigatami from up top, that reverse arm lock. And now he's going to focus on pummeling this back leg free from the half guard by just turning his knee in and pummeling out like that. Okay. From here, Gordon's just maintaining that underhook. Just focus more on the underhook than grabbing his head. Here's a good response here as well. So Josh realizes he's probably not going to get a knee elbow escape, so he goes towards more like a ghost escape, putting his arm through to the other hip. As soon as Gordon sees his arm coming through the hole, he uses that to get to his double unders. And now he's going to put his head on as close as he can to the mat next to Josh's ear and start walking his hips back ever so slightly. And from here he goes to a shin mount. And when Josh goes to defend the shin mount by grabbing his ankle, see, Josh grabs his ankle here, there's his hand. Gordon's going to use this knee to pin and then get almost like a topside crucifix right here. Josh defends that Kimura by bringing his head through the hole. That's a good response. Now Gordon's in like a north-south position here. When Gordon doesn't like to sit north-south, he goes right back to this reverse side control. So here's an interesting answer here. When Josh gets on his side from side control, Gordon's going to take this overback grip, or I'm sorry, the over knee grip here, elbow deep. And he's going to take like a pseudo half guard here where he just puts his knee back in the half guard. So as Josh goes to go mess with Gordon's leg with his top arm, Gordon's going to go Kimura. And then Josh goes back to the mat just long enough for Gordon to work his crossface back in and goes for this pseudo half guard. So you see this leg. He doesn't actually put the leg all the way in. He just puts his shin over Josh's shin and locks his feet here. That way Josh can't actually connect the half guard. He'll still wear him out just as much though. You can just work on the crossface, try to stretch Josh out. Now he'll let him have half guard because he knows he's going to get right back to his camp. So Josh is going to elevate again. It's getting super tiring for him not to keep elevating. Gordon gets one leg in between. So he starts with this butterfly position here, and then Gordon comes in, pulls that bottom butterfly out, or I'm sorry, what will be the top butterfly out. Oops, sorry about that. He pulls that top butterfly out, pops his knee in, and starts leaning on him again. Puts his hand right back in between his shoulder blades like he was before, just keeping him curled in. Josh really tries to free that bottom leg now, and you see Gordon keeps going right back to the ankle. Right back to the ankle. He just grabs the ankle, puts it right back in, and then leans on him again. So now he's low head, puts his head in front of the shoulder. And since he's on his side, I'm going to look for an overback. There it is. Overback grip. And now he's keeping him balled up. The other thing that I noticed when he does this is when he's keeping his head real close, he doesn't want to be susceptible to this inside scoop. So he locks his feet. Trying to see if he can win the battle from this half guard position, just keeping Josh balled up so he can't pull his head away super easy. And look, he's going to stay in his half guard. Even though he might be able to pummel his foot out now, he's just going to stay here for a minute. Now Josh has his underhook. We're going to see if he frees the knee this time. Gordon takes a grip on Josh's bottom arm here, pinning it to his chest, so now he can't get a good scoop in here. Every time Josh's knees even come close together, Gordon's going to sprawl on him. He just did it twice in a row right there. As Josh's knees come together, he sprawls on him. He's going to let him elevate him so that he has to work for it. He wants Josh to hold his weight as much as he can. Right back to it. Again, fighting that bottom knee. So he kind of switches here from the low head camping to the high head camping when Josh frames. He does a good cross shoulder frame. So Gordon goes head high, hips low. Again, hand in between the shoulder blades. And the other hand monitoring that bottom leg. Until Josh relinquishes that frame, and now Gordon can go back to more of a low head camping. So once he gets rid of the knee shield, he goes to that crossface. He can lock his hands here and work to flatten Josh out. Again, he's going to make Josh elevate him. Kind of hanging out. Josh gets a cross lat grip. Works toward a half butterfly, but you see Gordon forces that butterfly hook out. It goes right back to his camping. An interesting thing here is he prevents the butterfly hook by turning his hip in. Okay, you notice he's not like 90 degrees with Josh because that gives him an easier time to get that in as a butterfly hook. So right here, he's able to smash those knees together again. We were just talking about that a minute ago. As Josh gets his knees close together, Gordon immediately sprawls, and that gives him a chance to go ahead and pummel this foot by bringing it to his butt and then over the ankle of Josh. And now he can really start pressuring that J point, that hip line. Flatten him out, make him elevate again. So this time, Josh went to elevate, and he didn't have an active hook on Gordon's leg. So Gordon was easily able to hip switch over and start pressuring that J point again. Using his hand to push that bottom knee through. Try to finish this pass. Sitting here seeing what Josh's response is going to be now, because he knows he's in the position that Josh needs to answer. Gordon goes kind of knee on chest there, just giving him some pressure, almost pulling Josh's head through. So as soon as Josh's head comes through, Gordon gets an inside thigh grip and starts pulling himself into cross ashi. Now he's going to stay topside with this grip here through the legs. Staying topside. So now Gordon's working on getting to the double treble position, getting both legs. And you see he's really insistent on getting his elbow in between the tied up legs. Super important. Keeping the knee, elbow in between the legs. From here, we know he wants to go to inside ashi. So he needs to pull that leg across his body. So it's interesting how he does this. He starts using his right hand to grab the toes. And he lets this leg come out as soon as he has the toes, so he can pull it across. And from here, he uses his knees. He's going to start turning his knees up to the ceiling to get that heel exposure, and keeps his knees pointed to the ceiling, hips in, and gets the finish. All right, guys. So that's the match. Those are my tidbits on what I learned. So if you guys have anything to add or anything that you think Josh should have done different, let me know. Make sure to subscribe. And thanks for watching.